Welcome to the official Offspring podcast featuring Dexter and Noodles. In the next 10 minutes or so, you'll be subjected to all the ramblings, platitudes, and blathering bullshit we can dish out. In this webisode, Noodles single-handedly saves the economy from imminent collapse.
Are you drinking coffee right now?
I'm drinking, this is my 5th cup of coffee. Yeah.
Noodles likes the coffee, and I
love the coffee.
I admire Noodles for his constitution.
Yeah.
In many ways. But 5 cups, that's awesome.
Yeah, I'll probably have another afternoon cup later, right before I switch to beer.
You're an animal.
Yeah.
I know, it's coffee.
I got up early today, man. I made my kid breakfast, sausage, eggs, toast.
Really?
Yeah. Good glass of juice, part of this complete breakfast. and I didn't even eat. I make him breakfast, and then I went and I did my walk and my hike that I've been doing a couple times a week.
That's awesome.
Checking out the birds. A lot of ducks around this time of year.
You've been bird watching, sort of a little bit more over the last couple of years, right?
Yeah, like the last year. Yeah.
Yeah. But explain what that means, because when I think of bird watchers, I don't think of you.
I'm not really. I know. Yeah. I know. I'm not really a birder, as they say.
You don't have
in the game
the safari hat and the binoculars on the tripod.
I know, one of those vests with all the pockets and everything. I do take binoculars though, because sometimes there's always hawks out there, and the birds of prey I think are the most bitchin'. But no, what started is we live by the beach, right? And you see these birds out in the water. You go, what the hell are those? And I think those are grebes, but I don't really know. I don't even know what a grebe is. And sure enough, I was right. So then I started figuring out, well, what are those other little ones? And then what are all the ones on the shoreline? And then I started kind of doing hikes around the area, and started getting more and more into the birds.
So just out of curiosity, you started identifying.
Yeah, because I just want to know what the hell is that? And that bird's very different, and there's all kinds of birds are pretty bitchin'. Plus, these birds don't live here there all the time. They nest, continents away, and they fly by. Yeah. It's pretty amazing.
Yeah.
Pretty amazing the lives those birds lead. But like today, it's mostly ducks. Some Canadian geese are back. There's tons of geese out there. But I saw my pintails, some teals, some widgeons.
Wow.
The shovelers.
See, I have no idea what any of those
kinds
are.
of ducks. And there's different versions of those too.
Of ducks?
Yeah, like the teals. There's the cinnamon teal, the blue-winged teal. There's the American widgeon. There's
You're killing me.
Northern pintail.
That's cool. No, I like things that fly also.
Saw a bunch of grebes, some loons, a couple merganser.
Right.
Wow. And the birds of prey. Saw a kestrel. Saw a red-tailed hawk today. What I haven't seen lately is the osprey. Usually you see osprey around where we live, but I haven't seen one of those.
You're fucking Forrest Gumping me right now. Got your barbecue shrimp, sauteed shrimp. Great. You got like a field manual? Like how?
Yeah, I do. I have a couple.
That's how you got. Like no one teaches you.
That's how I identify
right?
them. No, no.
You don't have a master.
I identify them, and sometimes there will be people, that are actual birders. Like I saw a loggerhead shrike the other day, but I wouldn't have known what it was. But there were some birders there, and they're so nerdy. It's so rad. I was a little bit older, close to retirement age or beyond that, and they're usually so nerdy. It's awesome.
So you like tap them on the shoulder, like, hey, what's that one?
Yeah, good morning. How you doing? What do you see over there? Oh, I think that's a loggerhead shrike. So then I go home and I look it up in my book. That's what that was. Awesome. Saw a marsh wren. I'm not really good with a lot of the little birds. I have no idea what those are. But
Dude, I got to go do this with you.
You should, dude. Yeah,
that's so funny.
It's a good little hike too. Hike for about an hour and a half, 2 hours maybe at the most.
Yeah. So like when we retire, you might be one. That's your thing. That's what you'll do.
I'll go to work there.
You'll work there. Yeah. You'll be volunteering there.
Yeah.
You'll be a birder.
Yeah.
It's your retirement. You know what I'm going to do when I retire? I was talking to my wife about this. I go, you know what we should do, babe? When we retire, I want to get in an RV and I want to travel the country doing chili cook-offs.
Rad.
Just get into the chili cook-off, the whole thing.
Dude, totally. Oh, dude, that would be awesome. That would be awesome. I can see you towing like this big, I don't know, vat. It wouldn't be a barbecue, would it? It's towing a big vat. People tow barbecues sometimes. Those big, 50-gallon steel drum-made barbecues. That'd be awesome.
Get up in the morning in the RV, and we'll make our little tiny coffee, and I'll get on Skype and call Noodles. We'll be in like Winslow, Arizona. Hey, Noodles, how you doing?
Winnemucca, Nevada.
Winnemucca. You'll be watching birds.
I spent the night in Winnemucca, Nevada this last summer. We can talk about that. I drove over 7,500 miles this summer.
Wow.
Some by myself, some with my wife and son, and then some just me and my son.
Did you like keep track of it? Like, how do you know it was 7,500
Well,
miles?
I hit the trip meter before I left.
That was conscientious. That was
yeah.
I never remember doing stuff like that. Yeah.
I broke down going from Wisconsin up to Minnesota. You know, upstate Minnesota. We were out in the middle of nowhere for that festival. It was a really cool festival. A couple of out in the middle of nowhere, and broke down halfway. So fortunately, I was able to make it back to Minneapolis and catch a flight with you guys up to the gig.
That's right. Well, like, yeah, let's talk about that. How did that come about? We did a lot of like kind of festival stuff this year.
Yeah, but on weekends, so the whole week we'd have off.
Yeah.
You know. So I thought, well, why not bring my family out and drive, you know, and see, you know, we went to Rushmore, went to Yellowstone.
Right.
Did a bunch of things.
Because we were playing shows, I guess, sort of around there?
Well, you had to drive through those places to get where we were playing.
Yeah.
You know, yeah. What did we do? We did Calgary. That was one of the first ones. And then I drove up to Calgary in 3 days. Yep. And hung with our friend Trevor up at Lakeside.
Yep, Trevor,
you know,
great guy.
Yeah, Flathead Lake. And then hung out with some family I have in Idaho, and that's where I picked up Jackie and Jackson, and then headed across, you know, half the United States to get out to Wisconsin.
Well, because once we got up to Calgary, we kind of did, it felt like almost like a proper tour, like we did Saskatoon and...
Well, that was later. The Saskatoon was after...
Was it?
Yeah, because I parked my camper in Billings. I have some family in Billings, so I parked the camper there and flew home, and then we did some recording in Vancouver. I took my son with me to that, and then from there we went straight to Saskatoon, and then flew to Billings, and then I drove home with my son. You guys flew out, I think, right after the show. So should have stayed for the fair, dude.
Which the Billings.
The Billings Fair, yeah.
You know, that's so wild because, you know, like, you know, for a lot of times we'll make references to the movie Spinal Tap, right? And we should do a whole thing about that. But there are so many catchphrases or whatever, jokes out of that thing that are so true. You know, when they're going downhill and they play a fair, basically.
Yeah.
And it says, I said
with
it's
the
supposed
puppet
to be
show.
Spinal Tap first, then the puppet show. Well, like, so you get a little bit of that feeling sometimes. You walk into these places like, oh my God, and you know, literally, you're driving next to people that are taking their cows on a leash. You know?
Yeah. No, my nephews and a niece were showing animals. They had rabbits, so they were showing animals. What did they do? I think there were some pigs they showed, and then some rabbits for the 4-H thing. I mean, it's rural and agrarian, and they're
the full deal. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm looking at you, Noodles, and go, oh dear, it's come to this. You know,
that we're playing the fair.
Yeah. But then they take you inside, and all of a sudden there's a real venue indoors.
Yeah.
And there were thousands of people in there and going off. So it ended up being a great show, but you would have never known it because, you know, we went by the Ferris wheel on the way.
I know. Well, yeah. It's, you know, it's funny, you know, because a lot of the people that work the fair, you know, and work the 4-H and stuff, they buy like tickets to just every night, you know, and it's mostly country people, you know, and country music's big in Montana, you know, as it is in rural areas. Yeah. So I'm in the bathroom at the fair right before we played. I was walking around with my son and my niece there, and this guy goes, "Hey, where are you sitting tonight?" I guess they were one of these, you know, they had tickets to all 3 nights. Okay. And going, "Oh, I'm gonna be over here, you know, and I think I have an extra seat, so come down." He goes, they're going, "Who is it tonight?" And somebody goes, "Oh, it's the Offspring." "Oh, I thought it was Green Day." And I'm in there hearing this whole conversation in the bathroom, and they have no idea who I am.
You're right there.
You know, and I'm right there. I just die and laugh, and they're going off. "Oh, Green Day and Offspring, what's the difference?" And fortunately, you know, they were bigger Offspring fans than Green Day. Or somebody else piped in, "Oh, Offspring's better than Green Day."
Oh, that's nice.
Okay, yeah. You know, so fortunately, they were Offspring fans, but I had no idea.
That's funny. They're not exactly active fans.
No, you know, I think they're, you know, they were older too. It was probably their kids. You know, these guys were probably, you know, parents or grandparents.
Yeah.
So.
Well, I'm trying to think of who was, because there were other shows that were either at the fair or next to the fair. Like Steve Miller played that day, the Steve Miller Band, the day before, or something like that. So,
well, a lot of them were just music festivals, you know, that too. It was just kind of out in the middle of nowhere, and you know, real rural areas. You know, but kind of recreational. You know, like there was a couple places we played on lakes, the one in Wisconsin and the one in Minneapolis. And the festival goes on for quite a while. Yeah, and you know, we headlined one night, but the next night, it'll be Steve Miller Band.
Yeah.
You know.
So it feels really strange when we get booked for these things. You go in there and like it's, you know, like could be like Steve Miller one night in a country band, and I feel.
But then the next night we, you know, Motley Crue too. That's a little closer to us.
That one place.
Know. Yeah.
But not this place, and so you feel like, God, we're not going to fit in on this at all. You know, what are we doing here? But it was always really great.
Yeah.
People showed up.
Yeah.
It was cool. So, a lot of strange festivals this summer. Noodles driving his camper.
That was bitching. You know, I love getting out and seeing the country. You were talking about doing the chili cook-off in retirement.
Oh, okay.
You know?
Yeah, the chili.
So, you know, I loved driving and seeing the country. It's just a good way to get a feel for the landscape and stuff and people. And
I love that you have a camper.
that's pretty cool. I love it too.
I think that's great. That's great. Well, it was also your surf wagon, right?
Yeah.
Which is kind of nice. You had somewhere to change and all that.
Yeah, because when you know we moved, but at our old house, you know, I could park it in the driveway or you know, even back, you know, in the side yard, and I just keep my surfboards in there as ready to go. You know, but now I don't really even need to drive to go surf. I walk to go surf. So
you and your wife could join us for chili cook-offs. You could follow us in the RV.
I'm more of a barbecue guy than a chili guy, but. You know, chili and barbecue goes really good together.
Goes great together. So we're going to cross paths with the barbecue contest people, I'm sure.
Definitely.
Lots of places, yeah.
That'll be rad.
Yeah, I don't know. They're all swingers, I hear.
Are they?
I don't know.
Excellent.
Like the chili cook-off people talk shit about the barbecue contest people.
I'll talk to my wife, see if she's down for that.
Well, I guess that about wraps it up this time. Be sure to check back soon for another installment of the official Offspring podcast. Now go on, get out of here.